Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now they're looking at the NLEX service road. You see right now Commander of Task Force Special Operations is speaking to the barangay about this open sewer. There's lots of children walking past and they could easily fall into this hole. I mean, look at how big that hole is. Over here the enforcer speaking to this lady. She was caught riding a motorcycle without a helmet and unfortunately she doesn't have a driver's license. The team don't have tow trucks so they can't impound the bike. Instead what they do is issue a ticket to the license plate and then ask her not to ride anymore. And over here they stop one more rider, no helmet unfortunately, and one more rider over here again, no helmet. It's amazing how many people are willing to ride along EDSA without a helmet. It's a very busy, very fast, very dangerous road. And over here the team stopped the tricycle. Of course there is a tricycle ban, they're not allowed on a road like EDSA. So they issue a ticket, I think it's 500 peso. And over here one more motorcycle rider without a helmet unfortunately. And over here you'll see the sidewalk clearing team are collecting wood and putting it on the back of the truck. There used to be a lot of shops along this sidewalk, but the team went here last weekend and said please remove everything. But it looks like they left their waste behind, so it's pretty much just garbage cleanup to be honest. But they will take this away so that there's a sidewalk, there's somewhere for the children to walk. The reason for coming to the NLEX service road today is they need this to be clear as an alternative route because of the ongoing Skyway construction. So I asked somebody, why are all the sewers around here open? Why don't they have any grill? And what they told me is that this area is flood prone. And what happens is if they have a grill here, all the trash gets pushed up against it and then it blocks and the area floods. So their decision apparently was just to remove it so all the trash can flow inside along with the water and it won't flood. So if you look down here, that's what the result is. Further down the road here is more remnants of where the stores used to be. It would have been nice if those doing business here cleaned up after themselves. What they've done, the commander of the task force just asked the barangay to request a garbage truck, either if they have one or from the city, because this is really garbage. Another thing they're planning to do is knock down this wall that was built on the sidewalk. What else did they say? Oh yeah, also pruning the trees. They can't cut down the trees because you need permission from DNR. They need to assess the environmental impact and everything like that. So the trees will have to stay, but everything else can be taken away. I was told by 8 o'clock parts of NLEX will be closed and this road will be full of cars again. So the team do have to work quickly. Looks like it won't take long to take this down. Very soft, hollow blocks. Although it might make the cleanup a little bit more difficult. In an ideal world, those at the local level would prevent people from building this kind of thing on the sidewalk in the first place. And it looks like the city followed through. City of Caloocan, they provided the truck and they're also breaking down things and putting them on the back of the truck to clear them. Of course, it's good to see people from the city doing this, so it's not always the MMDA because they can't be everywhere and they can't do everything by themselves. You can see this is like a sari shop, but it's actually set up in the road itself. So that serves as an obstruction, that's why they're taking it down. Same with these carts and everything else. So at the bottom of Balintawak you'll find QC DPOS plus the PMP, Quezon City PMP of course. And it looks like they've captured a lot of pedicabs, so let's go see what's going on. It might be that they're using roads that they're not allowed to be on. So I just asked now, they said that these are being impounded because they were caught counterflowing on a national road. So they'll impound these. In front of Balintawak Market there's 2 taxis that are loading. There is a big sign that says no loading, unloading, so I think they're going to be issuing them tickets now. They also issued tickets to vehicles further along. There was a car and a pickup truck, so they issued those tickets for illegal parking. Here's a sample of one of the signs. They're definitely big enough, impossible to miss. And further down here is another team. This is HB Sepo sidewalk clearing. You can see there's a lot of vendors here on the sidewalk, even in the road itself. They've made a big trash pile also. This is actually meant to be a bus lane, but it can't be used for that. A couple of pedicabs and bicycles over there. It looks like they're going to be clearing these. Like I said, it's a different team, but it is MMDA also. What I think would be better is if those vendors from Balintawak put all their money together to buy a commercial grade or industrial grade trash can and didn't just put it in the road like this, because it's a business, so that's part of their operational expenses, garbage removal, garbage disposal. So they should try and improve this by themselves without the city having to do something. Over here there are more vendors operating on the sidewalk. I'm curious to see how bad this drainage looks, this sewer. Let's take a look. Well, it looks to be pretty much full of trash. Let's take a look at the river behind. Yeah, also doesn't look great. You can see a lot of garbage pulled up here. Of course, the reality is that while the vendors continue to do business on the sidewalk, all of their trash is going to continue to get thrown down here. So yeah, something needs to be done about that also. Right now the team are looking at these two vehicles parked here on the sidewalk. I think they will be issuing them a ticket for illegal parking. There are drivers inside, so it will be attended, which is 1,000 peso. You won't be able to see on the camera because it's too far, but traffic is backing up in the bus lane, and I can see why. Tricycles are coming out of the side street and then they're counterflowing along EDSA. So I just heard them now on the radio. They're sending some MMDA big bikes down there to capture them and issue them tickets. That will be tricycle ban 500, but the bigger penalty is illegal counterflow. That's 2,000 peso plus 2 months suspension of your driver's license, and it is really causing a big problem. Traffic is really backing up. And over here the team are issuing a ticket to this van. You can see it's obstructing what should be the sidewalk. That forces pedestrians into the road, puts them at risk of being hit by vehicles. So they'll issue a ticket and then ask them to immediately move the van. And I've just noticed something. That is a Star 8 electric tricycle with solar panels. That's a solar panel on the back and on the top. Shame it's driven away. I could have taken a closer look at that. If you look over here, you'll see there's plenty of parking spaces. But for some reason this van is parked here. This is actually meant to be a pedestrian lane and a bicycle lane. So the enforcer's speaking to the driver now. I think they will be issuing a ticket for illegal parking. Tried to flag down this man for riding with no helmet. Unfortunately he hasn't stopped. So I think they're going to send a rider after him now. And you might have seen this all around Quezon City, the new green lanes, the bicycle lanes. The thing is, there have been a lot of complaints because of things like this. Vehicles parking in the bicycle lane. And you'll see one of the enforcers has just moved in now. He's going to issue a ticket for illegal parking and obstruction, plus disregarding traffic sign. So that will be 2,150 peso. The team are now issuing a number of tickets to taxis and private vehicles down there that are considered as being illegally parked. And further along the road, the same thing. They're issuing tickets to all of these private vehicles that are parked by the side of the road. And one enforcer's gone over there. You can see the pickup truck is parked on the sidewalk. Even the armored truck is parking, blocking the sidewalk. And if you consider the Manila Bay rehabilitation is projected to cost over 40 billion peso, where does that money come from? Well, some of it can come from things like this. Illegal parking attended, plus obstruction, plus disregarding traffic sign, that's 2,150 peso. If it's unattended, that will be 3,150 peso. So these kind of tickets do add up to a major income for the government, which can be used towards projects like that. You'll see over here they've already issued a ticket to the BMW, but the driver of the armored truck doesn't want to give his license. If you look behind the armored truck, you can see that he could have actually reversed much further, and then he wouldn't be obstructing the sidewalk and they wouldn't be issuing a ticket. Since the armored truck doesn't want to give his license, what they'll do is write out the ticket to the plate, and then they'll also add refusal to surrender driver's license, which is an extra penalty. And over here the team are issuing a ticket to this car, this truck, and then the car behind for obstructing what should be the sidewalk. There's nowhere for pedestrians to walk except for the road. So issue tickets and then ask them to move the vehicles. And across from those parked vehicles, you can see that this business here is fully occupying the sidewalk. They're selling food. I was just advised by Cesar that they already issued 2 tickets to this business and asked them to self-demolish. The ladies did ask the team not to confiscate this, but they advised that they've already been here a number of times, issued 2 tickets, and they haven't, you know, taken notice of what they've been asking them. So they will be confiscating this and putting it on the back of the truck. So as they've started removing that business, they've also discovered there's a concrete wall here. So I think they're going to be knocking that down with a hammer. And this cabinet here is full of garbage. It's being used by this condo building here. The thing is, this is still a public sidewalk. If they move it over there, it would be on their own private easement, no problem. But where it is at the moment, it's partially obstructing the sidewalk. So the guards have already said no problem, we'll move that. So that's good. And sidewalk clearing team can smash down this wall. They can remove that business, and good for pedestrians again. It's a lot of work, but they are getting their way through this wall. Oh, there you go. I do like the idea of this, somewhere to put all their garbage instead of piles in the road or on the sidewalk. But they just need to make sure it's on their own private property, and then no problem. And now that's out of the way, they can get access to the rest of the wall. and out comes the Bosch saber saw so they can cut away the excess rebar. So now you can see the sidewalk looks a lot better. You can walk along here, you can pass through there, you won't bump into the wall, you won't bump into the garbage can. The vendors said they're waiting for a tricycle to come and pick up their stuff. I've just noticed that actually this wall also extends into what should be the sidewalk, but you can still pass through here. It's just a bit narrow. So this gives you an idea. This is how wide the original sidewalk would have been, very wide, nearly 2 meters maybe. And then, you know, you get here and it goes very narrow, maybe 50 centimeters, 30 centimeters. Then it opens up again, but it is a lot better than before, and at least pedestrians can now pass through without having to walk in the road. And they've also coordinated with Quezon City, advising them to come and pick this up, pick the rubble up and take it away.